Oh my god, I'm already loving Platter. Hey guys, Wheatywaffle here today, and we are back in City Skylines 2 playing our city of Walden, and in between parts, I only did two small things. First, I finally downloaded Platter. I've done a little bit of playtesting with it. It's fantastic. Don't know why I waited so long to get it. And second, I redid some of the districts. So now we've got Riverview facing the waterfront. We've got Marketown, which I imagine will expand as we build out a little bit more over here. And then we have Old City, which for now is just encompassing all of this. I actually think, you know what? Hold on, screw that. Get rid of these two spots. Let's just do it like this. And then we can figure out what happens up here. Because I imagine once we need to expand this highway, all of this is going to change so much. And then I added Blackwood just to cover this industrial area. So that's what we've got. Now, we have a little bit more crime kind of popping up in the city. And we are making money. But I would like to have a little bit healthier of a surplus before we go and build the police. Because today I want to build our bus network. So I want to make sure we have enough money to build buses and build taxis and kind of get all that in place. Before we build those, though, I think I want to start filling out at least the rest of Old City now that we have that defined. So that we've got a little bit more of a tax base to pull from and we're able to slowly expand this city a bit more. Now, we've got this cemetery here. You know what? Do we have... Where's that one, John? Oh, it's not unlocked yet. What do I need? Large parks. I mean, I've got 11 points. Park maintenance is only 1, and large parks is 2. Let's get both of those. And let's see if I can fit... Does this... Please... Oh my gosh, it's just barely too big. No, it's not. Not if we do it by hand. Bam. Okay, so now we've got a park kind of next to the cemetery, which I think looks nice. I don't think this has any meaningful upgrades. Additional burial plots. Oh, it does. Shut it down. It does. I could add more, but I did not know this actually had expansions. That maybe would have changed my mind a little bit. If we zoom out, we're doing pretty well here in terms of employees. This is a unique building, so I'm not worried about the fact it's losing money. We are having some crime. Let's check on unemployment is 0.5%, 0.4%. So we are filling the jobs that we have. Let's do a little bit of commercial and let's do a little bit of office jobs. Now, I would like to see a larger avenue going through here somewhere. The problem we're going to have is we've got this cemetery here. I just built this park, which I'm realizing I might want to reorient some things. Okay, we're going to actually reorient this building here, and we're going to place it so that it's facing this way. Or do we do it this way? Yeah, let's do it like this. So let's get rid of this section of Glade Street. I'm going to actually reorient our movie studio so that it's facing the parking lot. Already, I think that makes a lot more sense. But then that allows me to come in here, and I'm going to use 4-lane divided, mainly because I'd like to eventually be able to put trams as an option if we think they're worthwhile. Put trams as an option and then use those in the middle of these roads. We're going to upgrade this into a 4-lane avenue. That way we just have another avenue that is providing some decent movement here. I don't think there's any height change or grade change in the roads in this section. So let's just do this. And I'm going to give this here a little bit more of this grid structure. I know we're doing a lot of grids, but remember, this is a perfectly flat area here, and eventually this is going to be the heart of the downtown. So for me, I'd prefer this area to stay gridded just because it's going to see a lot of changes over time. And then I do want to add in the bike lanes all the way along this road here, extend them up this way. They've already connected here. Do we have any over here? We've got some going right here. I will do another bike north-south connection, maybe along this direction. And just so I don't forget to do that, let's do this. This is supposed to have bike lanes, but that's a pretty decent bike connection throughout. Okay, so we've got a few more blocks here. This here is a hotel, which is all well and good. I am curious. Let's go to Platter. If I were to go to low-density commercial, we would do base game low... Oh, wait, no. I want this guy here. What I want is... I still have to learn kind of how to use this. A 6x4 is perfect. And I want to do commercial, that's southwest, and a low density waterfront, and a low density business. Yeah, is this going to give me some kind of hotel or lodging? Sells recreation. No, it's going to give me a business itself. That's fine. I mean, we'll take a business. And then here, we've now got another avenue. And because we have an avenue, I would love to see some office buildings. Let's just do office in general. Can I just set this to be office as a category? No. But let's do this. Let's go ahead and stick this guy right here on this corner. I'd love to do like a 2x5, something that goes really far back. What about a 2x4? We do have one. So we'll go ahead and place that there. And then I think we could do like a 3. Is there a 3x6? That sounds crazy. There is. Let's do it. That way we're getting a nice set of blocks that are stepping back. Still have some demand for commercial, or for offices. So let's keep kind of going with that. There was only one of these buildings available. What about a 3x5? Anything? No. If I were to switch over to Southwest, what's the biggest we could get? There are 3 6x6s for Southwest. So I am going to place one right here. Do we have a 6x5? No. 6x4? There's 3. I don't love the way these look, but we could place one right here. It's a little bit different of a way of building, and so for that I'm going to have to get used to it. But honestly, being able to kind of hand place buildings this way is incredible. It's also going to allow me to do some better detailing, I think, behind this building. Now, on this building here, we've got a number of door accesses to that side. This side here, if I remove these trees, there's actually not all that much happening over here. So I think what's going to happen along this road is we're going to place a little bit more of this low density gabled roofing. Or do we do medium? Let's do medium. Let's place some medium buildings all along here, although they're not zoning that way. So that's when we go to platter. Oh my God, I'm already loving platter. All right, medium density. We're going to want to do the Netherlands medium density. And I'm going to do a 2x6. No, I want a 6x2. I'm going to learn this, guys. I'm going to learn this. Do a 6x2 right up in here. Those will all fill in. Then we can do maybe a 4x2, and that can fill all those in. Look at that. It just works. Like, it just works. Now, I am wondering, now that we have this here, first of all, does it make sense to move it here along this road and have the parking behind it? Like, if I was to rotate this, where do you actually end up? You end up just slightly removed from here. I don't think that's a big deal. I can even just come in. We'll extend this surface all the way over, and that's totally fine. But then, instead of having this parking lot here, we can do another parking lot behind it. Do I send a road up this way and fill in this area? I don't actually know if I would do that. Let's figure out how this is going to look. Because we have this surface here that comes along, I almost want there to be an alleyway right here. And if we do an alleyway, then I think I need to consider doing a custom build for my parking. Now, that would suck with the double intersection. I would never want a double intersection. But what if we did... Idea. What if we did a pedestrian road? Complex curve. Up to here. Over to here. Up to here. And then send it straight up. Just like so. So it's just a road for people to walk. There's going to be a lot of people that work here at the studio. So this would give them the option to kind of walk around. It's different. I like that it limits vehicles from that road. I don't know if I'm totally sold yet. We might have to come back and revisit that. Let's see if we can make this area here, though, into a decent parking lot. I am going to do a little bit of move it. I'm not mad about it. Now, the debate would be, do I just fill all this with concrete, or do I actually go in and add trees in between them? Okay, that looks pretty decent. And I just think it like fits a little bit better with the size of that building. Now for behind these buildings, I do wonder if there's anything we need to do. Like this is fenced off, so that's probably fine. This could just get some tree coverage and that would be probably good. I wonder if we actually sneak in just a little bit more of this medium density right along here. We could do a 6x2 all the way along here, just like this, or we do a 5x2. We do a 5x2. It aligns with this building here, and then that means that this little section can just get some trees, just like that. Nothing crazy. Then behind this one here, it's just pretty industrial over in this way. So I wonder if we actually go ahead and we do a little bit of extension for some of these surfaces. I'm going to bring this surface all the way up to the road, just like so. And then along the side here, I'm going to sneak in just a little bit of manicured grass to kind of act as like a natural curb there. And then for here, we'll do manicured grass for the rest of this. We'll leave it open, but that way there's a little bit of something going on over here. Maybe we'll place a tree or two, keep it looking nice. Okay. So now that's kind of coming together pretty nicely. And then over here, we still haven't figured out this area. So we've got our small medical clinic. The rest of this section, I would think would be business related. Now, if we go and look, our unemployment rate is now down at 0.3. And I'm wondering if we want to incorporate, well, also there's no parks over in this area. Let's see, if I go to building level, it's not building level, it's parks. Yeah, we've got decent coverage over this way, but there's no coverage over here. So what we could consider doing is we bought those large parks. We could relocate our clinic over here to Briarwood and Fox Hollow. And then we have this open area now that could become a park. I've actually reduced the amount of money we're making, which was not the goal, but sometimes that happens. That's a little strange for this area. Large plaza. Some of these are going to be too big. Actually, most of these are going to be too big. I do love the hedge park. It costs $67,000 a month. I like this guy. It's a little bit too small, though, ironically enough. We could do one of these, but again, these are a little tiny, and then we get into some more naturey things, which doesn't fit. Really, the only thing that I think is going to fit here in any meaningful way would be the hedge park, which I don't hate this idea. This is a pretty good park to have over here. And if we placed it more in the center, it would connect those two areas together. It's a little expensive, but I think we need it. Let me just fix this surface really quickly. There we go. So now we've got a decent park there, which I think looks pretty nice. And that means that for the most part, everyone in the city at the moment is covered by some type of park, which is perfect. Still haven't actually increased this all that much. So let's go ahead and finish out this last block here. We're surrounded by two avenues, and I am thinking eventually we're going to have to bring a highway down into this area, and this might be replaced with a highway in the future. So with that in mind, we might want to consider this being more business focused. There's no unoccupied buildings when it comes to our offices, and we still have demand for both of these. So let's go ahead and figure out how this is going to look. I'm thinking I would want the buildings to be mainly focused along Waverly Street and leave Evergreen Street to be a kind of arterial of some kind. So let's go ahead and do some low density offices. Let's go and do what is a 6x3? Anything? 6x4? Nothing. We do have a 6x6. I think we already built that though. We built one there, but that might actually be southwest. So let's do a 6x6 right here. Do we have a 5x5? We do. But that might kill all that demand. So instead... Oh, nope, it filled in. Great. So now we've got a little bit more commercial there, or excuse me, office there as well. So this is kind of becoming a bit of an office hub here. And then along this road, let's just fill this in with a bit more tree coverage along this side here. I'm going to do both of these options. Okay, pretty decent. Now that we've filled all this out, we've got a little bit more going on here. The last spot we got to work on is this area here. We're going to fill in these 3 blocks. Now, I'm actually going to maybe switch this up a little bit. I'm thinking Let's go ahead and place back in these alleyways. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's not going to be perfect. But I'm thinking let's place in these alleyways and let's do them go in the opposite direction. This is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so all of these are perfectly... are not perfectly spaced. This one here is an odd number. This is 9. But then we get into some stranger options here. I'm just going to clear out all of these crosswalks here. We don't need these ones. Completely unnecessary. Okay. And then we're just going to fill these in with our zoning. Now I'm going to grab our... I think I'm going to grab some townhouses here. Sorry, we're going to have to go back to platter. This is almost becoming too reliable. All right, I want them to be 6 by 3. The first number is what I want along the street. I'm going to learn that, I promise. Let's get over here into the right density. Actually, because we now have platter, hold on. We can do this totally differently. I can do along this road 5 by 3 right here. Do we have a 4 by 3 that can go right along here? Okay. 4 by 3. This might be business, so I want to back off of that for a second. Again, back here, we're going to do the same. 4 by 3, 4 by 3. Give me the 5 by 3. I think if we do one more, we can actually fit, yeah. Let's do this. And then we're going to bring this down a little bit. Oh my gosh, this is wild. Okay. Now we got a ton of townhouses here. Now we also have some demand for high density. So let's switch over to high density. I am going to do the Netherlands pack again. For this, we're going to do the low rent housing. Yeah, I think we're going to do low rent. They're only 2 by 2, aren't they? Like they don't go very far back. Yeah, they're only 2 by 2. So what I think we're going to do with these is we're going to add 2 sections. Oh, these go long ways as well. Okay, hold on. And we can get some longer guys in here. Let's do that there. This doesn't have a 3 deep, though, which is unfortunate. So it makes me wonder if instead of this, we do this. We place this right here. And we place another one right here. Right? It's going to tank any demand we have for high density. But then if we go back to low density, we can place some in here like this, right? Bam, bam. We're back to needing medium again. Oh, man. Hold on. Okay. Go back to Netherlands. Go back to medium density row home. Can I just place this? Oh, no, you filled in. Okay. You filled in all right. I think you're fine. We're going to do medium density row home. We're going to go back to the gabled roofs. Now, right here, I think I want to do something a little bit different. Because what I'm thinking, right? What I'm thinking as I'm looking at this is like, okay, now we've opened up like a perfect place for some type of pathway to cut all the way through the back of these houses. Why would we do this? I don't know. I just think it would look pretty cool. Like if we came right from here and connected all the way through the back of these homes. Similarly, we came through here, connected all the way through the back of those homes. It does seem to have messed this up a little bit. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of everything we built there. We're trying something out. If we do that, and I connect it up so we're not making a new intersection. Right? Bam, bam. So now this area is like even more walkable. And you've got bike lanes on 2 of the roads on either side. Okay, so now we've got all these houses, right? Then let's come back in here. I can fit a 6 in here. I'm going to go back to the medium density. I think I like the medium density a little bit more. And then we've got some larger blocks. So now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to switch over. We're going to want... let's do... Have we truly unlocked high density already? Like the actual housing? No. We only have low rent. So let's kind of stay true to what we have available to us. Let's do a low rent. I think NA. Let's just do regular. There wasn't any 4-3s. All right. It's going to be quite large. That's a tall, tall, tall building. But there's nothing wrong with that. If I was to bring this in, there is also a 3-3 we could place there. If I turn off snap to the other side, we can have a 3-3 as well. Which I don't hate that idea. We could have 2 3-3s. There's only one option for the high density. Or we could switch this over and do low rent housing. There's no 3-3 option, but we'll get something else. Or what we could think about is do a 2x3 here. Here we go. 2x3 and a 2x3. It's only giving me those 2 2s though, which isn't great. But we're starting to see some of that density come in, which is what I'm hoping for. I mean, this is going to be a tall building. How many families can live in this building? 133 residents. Okay. Now, what if I was to come back and for some of these areas, we just do some regular zoning. We turn off the EE style. Let's go ahead and do medium density USA. Go and fill in both of those. What if I actually clear that out and just do this instead? Just do medium density USA and see what we get. Am I only going to get a little guy right here on this front corner? Then I would prefer this become mixed use instead. Give me something a little bit larger. Just give me some height. That's what we want to see. All right. In these areas, how are we doing on coverage for parks? Not great here. So this here, I think we're going to earmark as a park. These guys can both be filled in. We've got a lot of residential here. And we still have demand for medium density. So I think what we're going to do is keep the medium density townhouses. I want Netherlands townhouses. And I want it to be, let's go to 6x2. We'll do 6x3 along this road. And then we'll do 6x2 along this road here. Just to fill that whole block in. That's going to be a park. Here we'll do 6x3 along the main road. With 6x2 along this road. This is actually life-changing. This mod is unbelievable. Holy cow. That is crazy. Right here, we need a park. So let's figure out what that park's going to look like. I think we've got to have one that fits. We've got this. Yep. I don't even need to. Yep. That's perfect. That's perfect. And now this whole area beautifully covered by parks. We love to see it. We love to see it. They might be expensive, but that's worth it. Our income is going up, which is great. So now that we've got all this together and we're going to let it build in, I think it's time we think about building some buses. So let's go ahead and look here. I want to go down to our bus depot. Oh, it's the first option here. It costs $31,000 a month in upkeep, but it offers 25 vehicles. It does have some noise pollution and air pollution. It's $150,000 to place. I want to place this one time. I don't want to place this and have to move it later on. Now, at first I was thinking I'd put it in the heart of the industrial area, but part of me is thinking it could be more valuable to kind of be on one of these side roads. That way it's closer to the area it's serving. And I'm thinking we may be able to get away with something like this. If I place it here along Fox Hollow Street, we still have room on the right side in case we need to upgrade this into some kind of highway later on. So I think it's going to go right there. It's far enough away from everyone. Oh my gosh, look at this first tall building we've got. NA high density housing. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, hold on. This can't be here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't actually unlock that type of housing yet. So you can't be there. I don't have that housing. We're going to do a low rent piece right there instead. It's going to be great. Or maybe we even just do medium because I tanked all of our demand there. Oh, no, there we go. We got it. Sorry. We're jumping ahead. We can't have that. That's the wrong house. All right, so now we've got this guy here. Do we even have room to... We have room on this side to do an expansion for an extra garage if we need it. I don't think we're going to do electric buses just yet. That might be something we upgrade into later on. Now we're starting to see an impact on our profits, so let's make sure we get this bus set up and moving. We've got 3 options. We've got our NA bus stops with just a sign, we've got the shelter, and we've got the shelter with bicycle stands. I think we're primarily going to use the shelters, and we may add in some shelters with stands. Now, I would like to have a bus route that's going all the way along this front here and going into Blackwood. So let's come over here to Blackwood. I think there's going to be a stop here. Eventually, that can expand out this direction. It'll then loop around somehow and come down this way, and there will be a stop maybe right here. I like this because it's central. It's not a big ask for you to walk from here to here. So let's place one right here. That'll come down this direction. Do we need another? I don't think we do. You can get to this building pretty easily. We can come all the way over to here. We'll place one here because eventually I think this area is going to have some type of park in it. I don't know if the whole thing will be parked, but it'll have some kind of park. We'll go 3 blocks. I think that's reasonable. And then we'll go 3 blocks again and we'll stop right here. For now, I'm wondering if that's all this is, because this is going to continue along the riverfront. So then this would turn around. The other stop for it would be down here, so we don't need to build that yet. We could place one here. It would get rid of our trees, but I think I'm okay with that. And then we could place one right over here, which again gets rid of our trees. I'm okay with that. It will come down this direction, and I am going to place one over here, I think. It's maybe unnecessary, but I'm okay with it. Do I want to replace any of these with bike stops? I think right over here, I'm going to remove this one. We're going to replace this with a bike stop one. And I also think I might replace this one here with a bike stop one. They don't all need to have bike stops on them, but some of them should. All right, let's go ahead and do a riverfront here. I'm going to change this color to be more like water. So this is going to come down this way, head all the way along the riverfront, the waterfront, come over here into Blackwood, and you're going to go this direction. Oh, that's on the wrong side of the road. This needs to be moved. Okay, here, we're going to fix that in 1 second. Connect this to here, pass by all of this, come back this direction, connect into all of these guys, and connect right back up to here. Let's then, can I just move it? If I click on this guy and go whoop, can we move it to this side of the road? We can. And then we're going to grab our line and we're going to send a connection right up into here. Can I get rid of this? Where do you send it? Nowhere crazy? Great. All right, so that way we've got this area covered. It comes all the way along the riverfront, and that can continue out this way as we keep building. I also have to say I like how I can see what the zoning is with this one. That's very useful. Holy cow. All right, then we're going to need a bus route that comes out of our farming area. So I think this bus route that comes out of the farming is going to go along this road here. Is this a bike lane road? It is not. And it's not an avenue, which is okay because there's an avenue 1 block away in all essence. And then we've got another bike lane road over here. Okay. All right, I'm happy with this. So let's just start with this guy here. You're going to go down this direction. You turn. And the first stop, I think, could be right over here. Now, we're in a heavily residential area. Do I want to have bike shelters next to them? I guess we've got bike lanes here and bike lanes here. So if we're doing the bikes along this center road, it would be helpful for you to be able to get off your bike, bring it to the bus stop, and jump off. So let's do this. Bike lane, bus stop right here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. This is the cemetery. This would be a very useful place to have another bus lane. And we've got some businesses here. So we'll place one right up this way. Then we're going to go 1, 2, 3. We then get to this area. I could place one right here. It's not going to have... They're a little bit close, but that's okay. Not going to have bikes on it. Then you're going to come over into here. The first one in here, which I will place right here, will have bikes on it, mainly because this is a large building. But then when we move into here, it's just going to get a sign. Sorry, guys. You're just going to get a sign. We'll do a stop right there. Not really close for these guys. It's practically unhelpful. In fact, we're not going to do a stop right there. What we're going to do instead is we're going to place a bike a bus stop right here to support these guys, right? Comes around, we'll place one over here. That'll kind of service all of those. Then it can come back down and around. Does it need to stop here again? No, because if you're being picked up from work, you're good. We'll come back this direction. Place a regular bus stop right here. Then we'll go 1, 2, 3. We're going to stay near this guy. These, again, will get bike parking along them, and we'll place one right here as well. Okay, it's pretty decent. Let's change the color of this one because it's farming to something that's a little bit more yellow. I do tend to like the lighter colors. I think they're just easier to see. So we'll make this guy yellow, send it out this way. You'll stop right here. You'll come over here. Now, one thing I'm noticing, because we're in a new city, the transportation mapping works so much better than it did before. All right, so we've got two kind of east to west lines, but now we need to connect you north to south. Not everyone has a bike. So let's look at our bike routes here. If I click on info and go to bikes, we can see we have a bike highway along this avenue, and we also have a bike highway right over here, as well as two that are crossing this direction. This area is leaving something to be desired, but we're going to leave it. I wouldn't mind having a bike lane that actually goes along this main avenue, or bus lane. I think that would be valuable. And because we have bike infrastructure, I think we might be able to get away with just one bus lane going along here. Now this is going along that main corridor. The elementary school is here, so we do have bus stops that are somewhat close. You'd only have to get off here and walk 1 block, or if you're here, you'd walk really 1.5 blocks, maybe, or 2 blocks. So it's not terrible. But now we've got a decent bus layout. I also want to think about doing taxis. We're going to do this one because we're still only 3,700 people. Oh, wow, we're 3,700 people already. That's crazy. I would love to place it kind of somewhat centrally. Or maybe this is becoming a bit more kind of commercial and office area. So maybe this is kind of the ideal place for it. What is your low noise pollution? You have 8 vehicles. How big is this? It's a 2x6. It honestly, I know we just built these homes. It would fit perfect right there. I think this has to go here. That just looks like it belongs right there. Maybe these houses aren't worth that much. Sorry, guys. The apple tree always fills in nicely. There we go. That's pretty good. But now we've got this guy. I do want to add the dispatch center just so people can call. It does increase the height a little bit. That's okay. I don't need electric taxis, and I don't need a garage extension. But what's nice is we can add the garage extension to the side and not impact any of the other buildings here. Great. Now, for our taxis, I'm going to turn off the European style just so we have these guys here. The taxi stand is where people can wait to get a taxi. Because we didn't have a bus stop directly near our school, I think I am going to place a taxi stand maybe along the side of our school. We don't have any buses over here in this kind of commercial area. We have one that passes somewhat close by, but there's not one dedicated to this area. So I think I'll also place one over here because it's close to our fire department. It's close to all this commercial, and it's close to some of this medium density, which is great. We've got some good connectivity here by the high school, but I think if we're over here, we might as well try to give it a little something. So I think I might do that. Because then you can get off either of these bus lines and grab one of these taxis that are right here. That's pretty useful. Then I think we could place one over here by the farmer's market. At the moment, this is the closest bus stop. When we expand, there could be another bus stop here close to the farmer's market. I'm going to place this along a side, one of these side alleys so it doesn't take up too much parking. And we have some larger buildings here, which is nice. And then I will also place one over in this area because we've got this big commercial building or office building. That's perfect. And then lastly, I will place one kind of in this area near the bus. That way, if you needed a taxi to get over there, you could. I'm not going to worry about this area. It's too small, and this doesn't employ enough people yet for us to need that. Okay. We're still making decent money. we've got a lot more people, over 1,000 more. I think we could add in 1 or 2 more blocks now that we've kind of got this stuff moving here. Let's add another road connection right here at the 90. Add another road connection right here at the 90. And this is where platter is going to be so useful because our grid is starting to degrade a little bit. So being able to have platter there is going to be awesome. I am going to do a little bit more of these little alleyways. I think they're fun. I like them. I'm excited for the challenge they bring. Like, let's do it. But I need to remove these unnecessary crosswalks here. You don't need those. That looks pretty good. And I think we're just going to fill in, you know what, one more two. Let's go ahead and grab this guy here, add bike lanes to it. We're going to send it straight on out till we connect into this. Then we're going to switch over here and we're going to do a 2-lane road with bike lanes. Connect that straight on down and in. I can go this way even and do it at the 90. Perfect. Okay. This area here, Dean Street, this is all just going to be, I think, low density. Why not? Okay, great. So now all that's going to fill in. That's a part of Marketown and Harper Park. They're coming along nicely. We're going to get that in, get that population booming. Look at that building. This is a unique building, isn't it? The Heath Pub. Oh, it's a great building. Great building. What a place. What a place. Now, let's check on some of our services real quick. Our school getting pretty full. Getting pretty full. How's our high school going? Our high school is full. Do we add the expansion? It's $130,000. $10,000 a month upkeep. I mean, I think we need to. Or do we think about building a different high school somewhere? This area is going to keep growing and keep getting more dense. So it's going to need a high school expansion. At 3,900 people, it feels way too early to have a second high school. So let's just add this expansion on top. That's what we need. Now I am going to go ahead and set these to function only in these districts. I know that we don't have any other districts competing. That's fine. But I want to just ensure that only people who live in these areas are living here. That's great. And then we're starting to make some money. We've fluctuated a little bit here, and our services are going up, our service upkeep. However, our taxes are doing pretty well, and I'm wondering if it's time for us to start thinking about police. The last thing I want to do today, we do have a little demand for industrial, which is great. And if we scroll through here, taxes seem to be a problem for everybody, but all around, everyone seems pretty much content. So I'm happy with that. I want to build a little bit of fishing. If we look at our natural resources, we've got a nice collection of fish right here in front of our owned land. And I think we could have some fishing industry right here at the front. Okay, I need the progression node water. Let's buy that. 2 points. Now we can get our fishing industry. Okay. Now, do you pollute? Low noise pollution, no major pollutions to speak of. I'm thinking I want it kind of in the middle here. We've got this area here. It could be nice to have a pier kind of coming off this area. Right? I think that's pretty decent. It will need a road connection. And I think for this, what we could do is an alleyway. Just do a 2-lane alleyway that comes straight out like this. We'll give it a nice little curve and connect it right up and in. Just south of the... Oh, that is a terrible connection. Just south of the bus line. Let's do constant slope, and instead of doing that in 2 segments, let's just do it in 1. Just like that. Much better, much better. Now, this also has some additions. We can do some storage along this guy, and it goes along the road. So maybe we actually take this, send it straight on out a bit further. Get rid of the whole road. I'm going to rebuild this just so I get a little bit more space here. Yeah, just like that. Now, we might need to do a little bit of terraforming here just so we can fit this building. I'm just going to grab this height, reduce the size, send that straight on out. But then let's see if we can get, yeah, we can. So this does 60 tons of storage. That's a lot of storage, but like, let's fill it in. Why not? I am going to also fix this surface. By that I mean let's connect it up so it looks like a cohesive building there. I'm going to add some trees around it, but first let's get our dock going. So we're going to send this guy out, and we want to be able to have enough connection points here. So we'll go out to about here. That way we can connect in with our fisheries. I want fishing area. So our fishing area, I think we're going to have 2. We're going to have one right here, which is going to kind of fill in maybe this section. I'm just going to kind of follow the contour lines. You don't really need to, but I want to give it a little bit of like a little bit of something, you know? And then the second one, have this come along this way. This, we don't have as much space to mess around with. We'll do it just like that. Then we need to connect our fishing lines up, turn this off, do continuous, and just snap to existing geometry. Then we can connect these 2 guys into one another, just like so. And now we can also add some fishing lines from here to here and back again. And then from here and here. Ooh, we got the bottle cap offices, a whole business office, all supporting our favorite local beverage. We have a museum devoted to the somewhat storied history of our energy drink. We have floors of sale offices. We have it all. That's awesome. Connect that up there. And now we've got a fishing industry. Let me go and get some trees right around here just to kind of fill this in a little bit. Not a whole lot happening over here. And we made it to level 6. Fantastic. $150,000, 6 new progression points, and 8 new zone points. We've got 7 hills residents. Great. Let me throw down some trees here real quick. There we go. And now we've got our fishing industry in here. Oh, that's looking pretty nice. I'm liking that a lot. Buses. Have you improved any? Okay, we've started to see some passengers. Snaps for passengers. We love. Let's give these guys some quick names here. Bus route number 1 is the one going into Blackwood. So what we're going to name... This one is just the Riverfront Express. Then we have bus route number 2, which is going over here to our farmland. I'm going to just call this Old City Dash Farmland. I don't have a name for this area yet. It doesn't have a district. Then here, we're going north to south. We'll call this Old City Riverview. We've got names for all of our bus lines. Overall, crime is becoming a problem, but we are finally making some money. We've got terrible crime everywhere. So I'm thinking we maybe want to place a police station. We can finally afford it. The UK police station has a nice little parking lot with it too. That could go, oh my gosh, this could go right here along the waterfront. Go right here along the waterfront. You can then send the road right behind it. I mean, why would we not do that? I want it to be perfectly along this side of the road though. Place this right here. We did just have a little flash of water problems. Water facility overloaded. Okay, you're producing 23,000 water. We're consuming a little bit more than you can produce. Do we just build another water tower, or do we finally need to consider building a water pump? It doesn't look like it needs a road connection. We can connect that right up and in, and we've got another water tower filling all these people. Perfect. All right, let's just get a road right behind here. I don't need bikes on this though. Come straight along the back. And now we've got this new UK police station. We can't afford any upgrades to it yet, but we would be able to give it a jail capacity, which we did not have a jail before. This costs $150,000. But when we're ready for a jail, we can just start with a smaller one that's here in this police station. Okay, all around, I think that's pretty good. We've got $243,000. We are making money a little bit slower than we were before, but all around it's going up, which is positive. Our expenses overall are starting to stack up, so we may have to make some adjustments to our finances in the next part. We've got more than enough people moving in. We've broken 4,400. We're now a level 6 boom town, which is fantastic. And I feel like we just did another expansion. Soon we're going to start seeing some serious problems with traffic, I imagine, especially as these buildings continue to upgrade and we start to replace some of these buildings with some larger buildings, which I think we might need to consider doing in the next part, just giving a little bit more of a bump. Because I think, did we unlock high density yet? Not yet. High density is at level 8. Once we get to level 8, I think we'll go ahead and start doing some more replacements of these buildings here in the downtown. Now, where are we at in terms of unemployment? 5.3. So in the next part, I want to focus a bit more on unemployment. We can get a little bit more office in here. There's a huge demand for that right now. We've got some demand for residential, or for commercial and industrial, and we finally got a fishing industry up and running, and they are very profitable, which is great. All right, guys, I think that's where we're going to end this part here. A quick shout out to my channel members. Thanks so much for your support. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, click the link in the description below to unlock custom emojis, loyalty badges, early access to videos, save game files, members only content, merchandise discounts, and more. And until next time, leave your questions, comments, and feedback down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Lorelai, follow your dad out. I can't have your tippy taps. I can't edit them out.